In fact, I'm the first woman in my country doing this.
Welcome to 10-Minute Travels. With me as always is Phil Freeman.
And with me as always is Shane Patrick. And tonight our guest is Ayleen Martinez.
Let's get right to it, shall we?
Tonight we have a special guest that comes from far away. Call her Ayleen Martinez, but she has many more names. And she rode a motorcycle solo from Chile all the way to Alaska. Now, that's not something that most people would do, scared, being alone. So in order to do that, it takes a special kind of person. And it's always fascinating to find travelers who make it all the way to Alaska. And there's always the question, why, how long, who are you, and so forth. And so when Ayleen showed up to Anchorage, Alaska, most of those questions were running through my mind, and I know most people who met her have thought them. So I thought, let's find out more about what it takes to ride from Chile by motorcycle by yourself all the way to as far north as you can go on the continent. And so Ayleen Martinez, thank you for coming and joining with us tonight.
Thank you for you. My name is Ayleen Martinez. I'm from Chile. I'm 33 years.
What's your full name?
My full name, it's Ayleen Belén Martinez Valenzuela.
And where are you from?
I'm from Chile. I was born in Santiago de Chile. But I grew up in a little town called Corte Alto in the south of Chile. And in an air club with my father and my mom.
When you say air club, you mean like an aerodrome or an airport area?
Yeah.
So you grew up around airplanes?
Yeah.
I'm making a small connection here, but you happen to arrive in a place that has more pilot's licenses per capita than anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I didn't know about that. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of airplanes, but I didn't know that Alaska, there is a lot of airplanes. So I think it's a magical adventure. Yeah.
It's always interesting how life gives you connections without knowing.
Yeah, maybe the destiny.
I've traveled extensively in South America, and so has Shane. And, it's a different culture than the United States. And it could be perceived that it's more conservative, right? And that you get your job, you get your family, your house, you settle down, and you are what they say, breaking the mold in a way. And what's intriguing about travel is that there is a certain population who decides at some point to risk everything unknown because they want to know the unknown. So they pierce through a veil of fear and they go, and there's something inside them. So I guess my first question is, I want to know your background and stuff like that. We would love to cover that. But what makes a person like you decide, that's it, I am going into the unknown?
When I was a child, I always loved the adventures. Always. I grew up in a machine store, workshop, and with my father, and always around with men, the mechanic, the adventures, always in my life. So I studied for a long time in my life. I'm dentist, and I was studying dentistry for 9 years, really. In fact, 6 years general dentistry, and then 3 years for specialized. So I was bored, and I wanted begin a trip because I wanted to be a new person, like be a best person with a trip, with meet new cultures, people, landscape. So I decide start my trip, and I invite a lot of people, my friends, my ex-boyfriend, but it's very hard, difficult. The person decide to leave all the things, the job, for example, for 1 year, and all people say you are crazy. So I decide begin my trip by myself. And the last year, it was difficult, it was hard because I'm Chilean woman, and that's not a common decision. Yeah, Chile, it's a country very conservative. Just, in fact, I'm the first woman in my country doing this. And first, I decide to do this trip in 3 months. And I say, okay, I want to know America, South America in 3 months. And and then I thought, but I need to know all America. And I want to get the most southest point where people live in the south, and then know the most northest point. So the northest point is Prudhoe Bay, and it's in Alaska. And that's the reason because I'm here. I went to the southest little town that it's called Puerto Toro, in an island called Navarino. All motorbikers, all this world they thought that Ushuaia is it's the end of the world. In fact, Ushuaia is the last city in the end of the world. But you can cross across the Beagle Canal, and you can get the Navarino Island and get the last little town called Puerto Toro. 18 people live there. And I went, and I go back, and I'm here in Alaska. I went to Prudhoe Bay. I took the Arctic Ocean by myself in Tuktoyaktuk, in the Dempster Highway, and now Dalton Highway in Prudhoe Bay. And now I'm here and enjoy these wonderful places, landscape in Alaska, and it's very similar to the south of Chile, and I feel very comfortable because it's like my house.
So when you decided to go, it came after some time you became a professional dentist. You also were in the military, correct?
Yeah, I was working in the army for 7 years. And it was a hard decision because I left all my things, my ex-relationship, my family, and my work, my job. But I had a dream. And that's so important because when you have a dream and you really wanted to do that, the universe conspires to help you.
That was Ayleen Martinez. If you want to learn more about Ayleen or listen to more 10-Minute Travels, please check us out at 10minutetravels.com.
And we definitely want to remind you to make sure that your sense of humor matches your sense of adventure.